Welcome to the Motorcycle Mavericks podcast, here in the Law Tigers studio, where we get raw
and real with our good friends within the motorcycle community. Hey there, before we get into this podcast, I want to tell you that this podcast is brought to you by the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. Hey, if you're ever injured in a motorcycle accident and need legal representation, the Law Tigers has got your back. We're the Law Tigers, and we are riders just like you. So, if you ever need us, call us at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Well, welcome back to the Motorcycle Mavericks podcast. And Ari, I think we've done a fairly good job about reaching across all borders of the motorcycle industry.
Very many facets.
Okay.
Yeah, very many facets.
Very many facets of the motorcycle industry.
Yes.
But there's one place we haven't gone. Okay.
Yes. Well, I'm sure there's more than one.
Well, so far.
At least one that we know of, yes.
And we've talked to dealers.
Yep.
We've talked to owners. Mm-hmm. We've talked to Land Speed Records. We've talked to designers, builders. I mean, you name it, industry icons. We've done it all. But the place we have not gone is heavy into the racing world.
Correct.
And we absolutely have to do it the right way. And we've got a gentleman sitting across from you right now who did both. Was part of an owner of a dealership, sold the units to all of us, and then made that transition to the track.
Yes.
And knows what the dynamic is between riding on the street, riding on the track, and how to continue to keep the dynasty of motorcycle riding alive. And of course, that's nobody else but Jayson.
Jayson Citron, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Thanks, guys. I'm good. Fantastic.
You look like you should be on the podium right now.
Yeah, I wore the right apparel. You know, this is our track day getup, if you will. So it's all colorful. The Dunlop hat, of course, we're AZ Race Tire Services. So I'm also the Arizona Race Tire distributor for Dunlop Tires.
I didn't know
That's
that.
the third pillar, we'll call it. So got the Dunlop hat on, and then our Break Free Track Time shirt. So we were actually, sorry if I'm all raccoon face with the sunburn, but I was at the racetrack. We were at Podium Club on Saturday with an organization, Track Days, and then I went to Indy, and we rode Indy on Sunday. So we've been going nonstop the last couple of days.
That's awesome. And we'll get into the Podium Club and all the affiliations here momentarily. But what excites me, Lionel, is we haven't yet had someone on that's really represented the metric kind of sport bike element. We've had Harley dealers. We've had, owners of biker bars that cater, heavily to the Harley V Twin. We've had, other related businesses. But to me, it's important to also share the love, right? Because, it's not just all about, as much as I love Harley V Twin and I have one, I also am an enthusiast and love metric and I have a BMW. So
hey, my first bike was a metric. I had a Ninja.
You had a Ninja?
I had a Ninja 600.
There you go.
So not foreign to it, right? But you don't see a lot of cowboys riding a Ninja 600 around who's 6'2".
You know, funny. Talking about some good social media content. You riding along
there you go.
On a Ninja wearing that outfit.
The funny,
I get some views.
Here's the thing about it, though, is I never was taught the right way to ride on a sport bike.
Let's do it.
I never was.
Sure.
I'm 6'2", gangly. I'd get on the thing. I couldn't get in the right position. I couldn't get in the right stance where I felt comfortable.
Sure.
My buddy was on, I think, a road glide. No, like a road, I don't know what he was on, some Harley. And we went for a long 4-hour ride. And by the time we got there, I was in pain all over my body.
Was your prostate numb?
No, that was all right. That was afterwards.
You could feel things. Yeah.
But I was in pain the whole way. We swapped bikes on the way back, came back, and we ended up switching pink slips. Straight across.
No kidding.
Because he liked the Sport Ninja better. I think
Who got the better deal?
I did.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
He had a really done
Depends on who you ask, right?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, exactly.
One guy's chicken's another man's
But for me, it was a great deal because I was in pain, and the pain was gone.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't anything wrong with the bike.
Sure.
It was the fact that it's, when I was starting to ride, that's what I could afford. Jumped into it quick, never learned, no class, no training, and said, hey, let's rip and let's go.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. How many of these yahoos, and I say that in the most respectful way,
sure,
buy sport bikes and have no business, and I'm sure you can speak to that given your past, but are there how many people would you say, what percentage of people that are buying sport bikes really should have done a class or should get trained and haven't been trained?
So I would say a lot. It's hard to say a percentage, but I would say that a lot of folks that come in that are interested in sport bikes, it's definitely a younger demographic. And with that comes a lack of experience for sure. So we've partnered. When I had the shop, we would tell folks, if you're looking to get like the fundamentals, an MSF course, Team Arizona, definitely the places to go. I know there's other companies out there, but it's actually underutilized. I would say the scary thing is most guys or gals come off of like an old dirt bike, and they're like, I'm really comfortable with that. I'm young. The sport bike is sexy. It's what I want to. It's what I'm attracted to, and I'm excited about. And they hop on the thing, and it's a lot. Today's 600s and 1000s are extremely fast. So to get the inexperience, that is a problem for sure.
We've actually had clients, Law Tiger clients that got on the bikes and unfortunately either were severely injured or fatally injured because the bike was just too much for them. And to your point, the power, the handling, they weren't prepared for it.
But I think that's anything. If you're going to buy a sports car, you need to learn how to handle that sports car. If you're buying, I don't care what kind of motorcycle 100%. It is. I mean, I'll put this another way. I love boats. Yeah. How many idiots out there buy a beautiful boat, put it on the lake, and they don't know how to operate that vehicle?
Yeah. At that doubt.
It's anything. You got to, if you're going to step into this new world, this new realm, I don't care what it is, you need to be trained. Yeah. Take the time and do it.
Well, it just so happens that you actually have the facility for training cars and motorcycles, right? Along with...
You got a place for a boat, too? Let's do it all.
Need some water in the middle.
Maybe boats in the works.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll see. Yeah. But so working at the Podium Club now, we focus on both motorcycle as well as the automotive side of things. And we see it actually on both sides. So... we'll take a risk here and say it's almost like gun ownership, right? So it's who is behind the wheel that makes that thing dangerous or not. So we offer training for people that buy their hot rod, their Lamborghinis, because candidly those things get sideways, and you need training for that. Right. As well as you buy your high performance motorcycle, a great place to go and see what its capabilities are the Podium Club. Again, Break Free Track Time, that's where we do it through as well. And we focus on everything from, it's really kind of a foundational training. So to your point, Lyle, where you kind of just, I think I know what I know, but don't know really what you don't know type of thing. So we really provide good foundation and exposure to higher speeds that you really shouldn't be tinkering with on the street, and try to get riders to go do that, both at the Podium Club and other racetracks, wherever, candidly.
How fast are these bikes on Podium Club?
Sure.
What, 2.5, 3 miles? What's
Podium Club, 2.3 miles. Our top trap speed right now, I believe, is just under 190 mile an hour.
On the straight, obviously.
On straightaway.
Wow.
Yeah. So I couldn't tell you the rider, but I'm pretty sure our Attack Yamaha team comes out and does some testing with us. Sure. And I'm pretty sure that's who has top trap speed. That's amazing. And I think it's either 186, 187, right around there.
What's your automobile top?
Top, I don't know, but here's the number I can share with you. So with that guy going that top speed, his top lap time was about a minute 26. Jeez. We had an IMSA car, which is a prototype race car, come out, and its lap time was a minute 12.
Wait, faster than the motorcycle?
Much faster than the motorcycle.
That's
much faster. Yeah, much faster than the motorcycle. Wow. So I would say top speed, and then obviously corner speed everywhere else. Yeah. A whole lot faster. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
So that car's so that car was doing, you said it was how many miles?
2.3.
2.3 miles and how many seconds?
A minute, so call it 72 seconds.
Watch the wizardry. He's got a calculator in his head. It's amazing.
I'm just trying to figure.
Yeah, I can't do the average speed in my mind, but it's fast as hell.
Jesus, yeah, that's
it's cooking.
That's unbelievable.
No, I'm not going to ask you what your top speed is.
As fast as they go. I've definitely hit 6-gear pinned on multiple motorcycles. Really? Yeah, most of the racetracks, believe it or not, it's really hard to get to those top speeds without equipment that is probably unobtainable for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would say most guys and gals that are going out to the racetrack today are probably in the anywhere from 120. So some of the like 400cc bikes, even those will get up to 120 mile an hour and then straight away. So your average rider is probably 160, 170 mile an hour.
So it's not just it's not that the acceleration. You also have to, I run a car, another track, and it's not just acceleration. You have to have enough brake time,
of course,
before you hit that turn. So
top speed typically, don't repeat this, but came from like the 60 or the 202, 2 a.m. in the morning. little bit of that stuff.
Of course.
Yeah. So Lionel and I are actually going to do we have a couple guys that we work with that are like brand ambassador partners of ours.
Sure.
And we're going to go out to California and they're going to suit us up. And
they're professional.
Yeah, they're racers.
Right, racers.
Racers, yeah. And they're going to.
Bagger Racing League, little MotoGP.
Yeah. So
and apparently they're going to try to put us through the paces to see who can.
Believe it or not, those guys were out at the Podium Club not too long ago.
Really?
And it's impressive. So we'll just call it 650-pound machine. And they're extremely fast. It's unbelievable how those guys can ride those big bikes.
So out at the Podium Club, you do the training.
Sure.
Is this any bike? Guy can roll in on whatever he's got if he just wants to see what he can do, maybe learn a little bit if he's on a big fat bagger, if he's on his own,
Yeah, great
whatever
question.
it is.
I would say the limitations often are the machine.
Okay.
So we typically would go with no floorboards is kind of the general rule of thumb.
You don't want to scrape, obviously.
You're gonna hit the ground on those, not crash the bike, but those are gonna scrape, to your point, Ari, almost immediately.
And if a guy doesn't know and he hears that grinding,
it's scary. It
does
actually
something
damages
upstairs.
the track, so it's bad news for everybody. We don't want anybody to scratch their equipment up. It's a funny story. I was actually this was maybe 10 years ago. Had a middle-aged woman come out on her BMW that was beautiful. And it was a C model, I believe, for the BMW fans. And she went out there and she was having the time of her life until she saw the scratches that were on the bottoms of like the exhaust pipe. And she came over and yelled at me and was so upset because the bike just wasn't capable. So we want things with central controls, that type of thing. Yeah. But I would say we do cater more to the sport bike.
Of course.
That's where we're at. We have had some baggers come out, partners like Cruzy, where they offer like center controls. That makes your American machine very track friendly. So there's ways to get out there.
Yeah.
But the street bikes are typically more of the sport bike and uprights. So you had mentioned like the Honda back in the day was brutal, right? Because the riding position and it's so tiny because you're this big dude. And they make more upright motorcycles that are a little more comfortable, a little more accommodating. So we see a lot of those too. So like Yamaha MT-09s, Aprilia Tawanos, that style of motorcycle, great for the track too.
If I ever got some, I just showed you my 1800, my K1800B, right? Yeah, it's K, right? Yeah, K1800B, is that what it is?
Well, clearly you don't put enough miles on it.
Yeah,
You can't tell me what that model bike is.
She's a beast.
I can't even get the CCs right, but those floorboards are probably scratch, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So obviously, you and I had talked over the years because at one point I was looking at possibly buying a
MV Agusta.
And you used to be a dealer, right?
Yep,
MV dealer. And I always liked the Brutale and the Speedster, Dragster.
Yeah, that was
because they were more upright, right?
Exactly.
But you don't give up
Still all the sport bike performance.
Right, just a little more upright comfort, right?
Exactly.
So me, that would be that. What's the best? Obviously you don't have to say that anymore.
Yeah, my opinion. Go ahead.
What's the best of that classification?
That category of motorcycle? So Ducati has a couple different sizes. They offer like a V2 size and a super bike size motorcycle, if you will.
Okay.
It's pretty awesome, beautiful sound. It's got lots and lots of power. Aprilia makes a really nice motorcycle. And probably Yamaha would be the three that offer like a really great package for the money. You could go ride with the guys that are really heavy in the sport bike scene and still take a 4-hour ride and make it back without being miserable. Yeah. So it's more, you kind of, I think as an adult, you kind of grow into that style of motorcycle and you mature into it.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, both are super track friendly. We love training on both of those. So
that's cool.
So now I know, the sport bike industry, the manufacturers have been amazing for years at adapting to new technologies.
Sure.
I was talking to a lawyer not too long ago, was telling me about all of the computer system in some of these bikes now.
Oh, yeah.
That they can track speeds, they can track braking, everything else. They can download all this information. My question is what do you have to dumb all that stuff down to the track? Or is that stuff hinder?
ABS, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
That.
You ask a guy like me, a layman, and I'm like, okay, so I just put duct tape over my lights, right? Like, and I'm ready to rock?
Yes.
I don't know any different.
It's a good question. So the technology that comes on the motorcycle, the manufacturer spent a ton of money putting that motorcycle on the money. Candidly, that's why the shit is so expensive. Can I? Foul language. I have a potty mouth.
Don't ask for permission.
You can say
Just
shit,
wanted to
fuck,
double
we don't
check.
care,
Yeah,
asshole.
cool.
We don't have a dumb
Holding
button and no
back everywhere.
FCC here.
Yeah.
So, long story short, I would say ask me your question one more time.
No, because I see all the technology and I love
The
it.
technology, yeah.
And I wonder, is it hindering the guys that want to go on the track?
Sure.
And I'm also wondering, is this the new trend in all of motorcycles? Because I feel that the manufacturers of the sport bikes, the Honda, the Cowies, everything you've listed, the Ducatis, I look at them as they are the trendsetters.
Yeah.
You can say American V Twin is to some degree, and at some point maybe it is. But technology-wise, I'm resting my hat on those guys.
Sure.
But I just didn't know if the guy who's going to the track, he's picking up that new Aprilia tomorrow. Can he run to the track, or has he got to drop $5,000 to dumb the bike down or to spoof the bike up?
Or turn off a switch.
Yeah. So it's super easy to get on the racetrack. So lots of questions, Lyle. I'm gonna try and answer all of them.
I'm just talking with you now. I'm trying to learn. In my head, I'm just taking notes. Like, okay, so now what do I got to do?
So you don't need to dummy down the motorcycle. You typically don't need to do much to them. Candidly, the more you spend, typically the more track ready the motorcycle is. So you don't have a lot of requirements to take the motorcycle to the racetrack to do things like a track day or a training. So to your point, tape up the lights. Typically we do private training where we don't even need that. You can just whatever bike, no big deal. And just you have good tires, not leaking, and be roadworthy. You'd put your family on the back seat type of thing, right? It's safe. So as long as it's safe, you can come out to the racetrack. Second part of the question here is technology. So technology is a great question. I think, in my opinion, because that's all I can offer here, is it comes from MotoGP. So that's where the prototype motorcycle technology is developed, and they figure it out. So there's all the way down to electronic suspension. So you can change through electronically how stiff and soft the suspension is. So electronic suspension, really advanced technology. Been on cars for a while, but it's making its way into motorcycles. Traction control. So the rear tire starts to spin up because you bought the newest, greatest thing that's over 200 horsepower. You can barely hold on to the thing. Believe it or not, you give all that power to somebody, it's almost dangerous. We were talking about before, right? So you have these things that interfere, that pull power away to make it rideable and manageable. So the technology is fantastic. It's great. I think where I'm going to piggyback off of it and turn the conversation around a little bit is that a lot of guys will buy the super bike with all the technology and want to take that to the track. And the best bike is typically the one that's least intrusive, has the least amount of power, and just has the best overall, like, good performance for handling and so forth. That's where you're going to really learn to be a better rider than buying the 250 horsepower that has all of the electronics, wheelie control, so the front ends, it won't buck you off the motorcycle. But thank God you have that technology, because candidly, if you took all of that off, you couldn't ride the thing. It'd be impossible. So or it really takes a really skilled rider.
So we need to stop compensating in what you're telling me.
Yeah.
And quit buying the biggest, baddest to be a big dick.
Like
the little bikes
are
fun. Yeah.
You can never, if you're not like, even with me and what I'm still not well versed in my vehicle. Everyone's like, you got to get something with less power that you can really master. Then you work your way up to the more powerful cars, more powerful bikes.
I mean, it makes sense.
You're never going to use, if you're not experienced, you're never going to utilize all that opportunity anyways, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Better to be fast in a slow car or bike
than slow in a fast
slow
car.
in a fast car or bike.
For many reasons.
Sure. Yeah,
for many reasons.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you jonesing for a great ride or go to a really cool event, whether it's local, maybe regional, or even national? Well, I've got the solution for you. At Law Tigers, we provide resources such as where all these events are taking place. It gets updated regularly with all the latest and greatest events, and I'm sure there's some that you would want to go to definitely. So if you're looking for that great ride or great event, visit lawtigers.com/events and check out what's going on in your area or nationally.
So let's kind of start from the beginning with you. So how'd you get your start in the motorcycle industry or motorcycle business, and kind of take us through that process? Give me a water, Lionel.
Sure. So my career, my background is in corporate banking, and early 2000s, this is going to date me a little bit, but early 2000s was really getting burnt out with banking, just as it's a gnarly business to be in, corporate America. And I decided one day it just wasn't for me. And quit. And ironically, on my way home, I went to one of my shops that I liked a lot, which was Town and Country. I think it was Ride Now, but it was right around the time frame that it was like the Town and Country Ride Now transition or whatever. And the guys were like, "Hey, dude, we'll hire you tomorrow. I'll hire you on the spot." So that worked for about 2 weeks. It just wasn't my style of. I just wasn't ready, I would say, to hop into the motorcycle industry. It was a little eye-opening. Candidly, the salesman was, we'll just call it an underdog in the dealership. And so I actually only lasted a couple weeks there, but I had bought quite a few motorcycles through, which was Champion Motorcycles, which is now Champion. Nash. Yeah. So a buddy of mine, Tim, I had bought multiple motorcycles from him. He was like, "Dude, I'll give you a job. Let's do it," you know? And I didn't believe he was being truthful with me when he told me how much money I could make if I did a good job. So great news. It was right when everybody was really more equity rich in the housing market, right? So he was taking all that money out. So we were selling a lot of motorcycles and UTVs and jet skis through Champion.
Sure.
And then, of course, with every peak comes the valley. And that all fell apart. So unfortunately, back to banking I went. So I did that for a few more years. And then about 10 years ago, again, decided this just wasn't for me. But I had progressed throughout my career where I was financially in a point where I could try something new.
Sure.
And I had a buddy of mine at the time who actually wanted to open a machine shop. So we were going to manufacture parts for race bikes. And we had a little small showroom. And we didn't know what to put in it. So as we're literally building out the building and figuring all of this out, it was just, we're going to go do something together. I couldn't tell you how we got a hold of MV Augusta, but MV was starving for a dealer in Phoenix. And within a week, they flew out. We literally had like just epoxied the floors, hadn't put any walls up yet. And they gave us the franchise, like right there on the spot, which was super cool. So probably 90 days after that, they started trickling motorcycles into us. And we did our first like concourse on the hills when that was first starting off. It was we were like, get us bikes for concourse. Yeah. We got to look good for concourse, you know? This buddy of mine, Peter, who's put that event on for years, was like, yeah, we don't really have a motorcycle presence, but if you have these exotics, you can bring them.
Yeah.
So from there, started up the dealership. That morphed into, we did zero motorcycles for a little while. Oh, yeah. The electric stuff's cool. Yeah. The demographic was one I just didn't, it's a different breed of individual that's into the electric motorcycle, which is cool, you know, just like there's different Vespa type guys, there's Harley guys, there's sport bike guys, there's electric guys.
Yeah. By the way, what would be a characteristic of an electric guy?
Electric guy. So they're often like engineer, right? They geek out on like the numbers, like what's the range and what if can I get into the software? Can I manipulate it to do my own throttle strategy? You know, they're kind of the tech guru, we'll call it.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
So that's very much so the electric motorcycle guy or gal.
Got it.
And they're like intrigued with how they could improve the performance in their garage. It's super weird.
Everything he said is what I call the nerd.
Yeah,
which is fine. They're smarter than me. They're cooler than me now. But you said it very eloquently.
I tried to be
all the Silicon Valley
exactly.
founders.
That's where they come from. Yeah, that's where the zeros come from. You know. So did zero for a while, and then brought in Aprilia. Aprilia went really well. We were often, I think at one point, like a top 3 dealer in the country, but hovered typically around like 10th to 15th out of like 70, which was really cool. And got it to a point where was able to move on, we'll call it, and take a little bit of capital, pass that on to its new owners. Hopefully they're successful with it, and on to the new program. Yeah. So that's how I got it.
So wait, what year was this then, roughly?
Which part of the story?
When you got MV?
MV. I would say that is roughly 2015, 2016. Okay. Right around there.
And then you moved on from MV though few years later.
Yeah,
right?
we ended up letting MV go not too long ago. Unfortunately, their lack of stability, we'll call it, was the challenge with MV.
Sure.
Sexy motorcycle.
Yeah.
They're absolutely gorgeous, but their comparison to like the Lamborghini or Ferrari is very true. They're high maintenance, which, you know, it is what you get what you sign up for.
Right.
But they are great. The infrastructure in the United States, though, is a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
Because now they're struggling again. Because
Yeah,
didn't they
they're
get picked
struggling
up by KTM?
Yeah,
Doesn't
so
KTM
the history of MV Agusta is novel-worthy.
Harley owned them too, right?
Harley owned them. AMG Mercedes owned them. Russian had come in more recently as an investment company, and they had taken it over from the family. And then KTM had come in, and it's literally like, if you look back, it's so funny because it's the exact same story every single time. It's they sell it to someone else who has the vision of taking the brand to new horizons.
Right.
They miserably fail.
Right.
They buy it back for pennies on the dollar, and you still have MV Agusta.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one of these days they'll find a pathway to.
Yeah, hopefully they find a
success.
path for sure, but it was not when I was there, so we ended up letting MV go, and then literally focused on what became the Piaggio products, which is Aprilia, Moto Guzzi, and Vespa.
Yeah. So, talk real quick about Zero, because I don't remember you owning that.
Yeah.
So where are they at now, and where do you think this whole electric industry is going?
Sure.
And do you think at some point everything's going to be electric?
So I don't know the answer to that one. I can tell you they definitely have their limitations. So like Harley did like the LimeWire thing, right?
Yeah.
So I would say that fell under failure.
Yep.
Drastic.
Damon motorcycles, or I'm not sure what. I don't think I've really even seen a motorcycle from them come out.
No, I don't think I did.
Lightning, another company that had a huge potential of making something happen. So I think this is what's happening in the electric motorcycle industry, is that you have the geeks that are figuring it out in the garages, and they're advancing the technology. It's not there quite yet, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is most of the motorcycles that fall under electric right now, your range, regardless of what they post, because there's variables that make that unrealistic,
Right.
to be very candid with you, is about 100 miles. And let me tell you why it's 100 miles, because even if they post like 160 to whatever, so do either of you own an electric car by chance? So when you own an electric vehicle, the rule of thumb is you don't want it to go between or below 20%. And you don't want to charge it above 100 because you jeopardize the longevity of the battery, right? So if you have, let's call it 150 miles of range, and I take 40% of that away on both ends, you're 100 miles. Like, that's all you can do. And unfortunately, in places with like Arizona, so we're like a half hour to everything. It's like my rule of thumb. How far away is it? A half hour. Everything's a half hour. You're there and back and you're charging. So the infrastructure isn't there to get that thing to charge right away. The bikes don't charge right away. And it's really good, I think, if you're in a metropolitan area, like great for college students. Believe it or not, you know who my number one customer was? The police departments. So City of Phoenix, Paradise Valley, their motorcycle cops are often on electric motorcycles. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But of all those brands, Zero was like one of the first in.
Yeah, they're one
And
of the
they're
first
still
in.
there.
They're still there. And this is where I think it's going. So I think your Hondas, your major manufacturers are going to say like, yeah, I think it's time to make the push. And a company like Zero will just get scooped up. And somebody else will just take that technology and just take it that next level. They technically, while I'm sure they have a great amount of resources, they sure as hell don't have the resources like a Honda, Yamaha.
I mean, are they even profitable, Zero?
I don't know the answer to that today, but historically it fell under, it was a loser company at the moment, when I was in. So
Interesting.
And I think they also tried really hard. I mean, they had several models.
Yeah, they still
It wasn't
do.
like one or two.
well, they're
It
still
was-
around for the record.
Yeah.
But and they do. Be honest with you, they have a little dirt bike that is just as fun as can be, because I can't ride more than a couple of hours anyhow, and it will do that no problem. And you're like stealth status. So you can go out, you'll see like animals you normally wouldn't see when your dirt bike is ripping and stuff. So there's some pros to it for sure.
What's the name of that model? Is it just
it's the FX. The FX.
Yeah. Pull that up, will you? FX. Yeah. So the area I live in Arcadia, it's all you see are kids ripping on dirt bikes. I mean, I think
this is a bigger version of that.
Right. So I think those, and they're either on pedal versions. Yeah. A lot of them don't even have pedals. They're basically like mini dirt bikes.
It's sad to see bicycles are like kind of fading out.
Electric but bikes, on the flip side, those kids hopefully will transition into street down the road because they got the bug of being on two wheels. Shit, I don't care whether it's a bicycle or an electric motorcycle. But pull up Zero, will you? Zero motorcycles.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's it.
Yeah.
That thing's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's a dual sport.
Dual sport. So they make one. I couldn't tell you which. I don't know. They make like a supermoto version as well. Which that thing, unfortunately, I took it to the track. I couldn't get it to complete a single lap without overheating. So
really?
Yeah. So those are limitations.
Was that due to ambient temperature or because of running?
Because we're running it. Like when you run it like at the track, and that thing really sits at 100% throttle, and you only off throttle a little bit.
Yeah,
it just cooks the battery.
Because didn't they try to? Wasn't there an electric racing league they tried to put together? Not Zero, but I'm saying in general. Didn't somebody attempt that?
So, oh man, what was the name? There was an Italian company. I can't remember the name of it, but Energica had a series, believe it or not, actually with MotoGP. So that's the, for as big as it gets on the motorcycle side of racing. And there actually is it's now Ducati who is producing the electric bike for that series. And it's badass. Yeah, they're heavy. They have pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
The real negative thing is that thing hits the deck and catches fire. That's where you have problems. They don't burn out right away. It's hard to burn.
So this thing looks like it's $12,000.
Yeah.
And this is quality wise, I'm sure it's well built. Yeah.
They're okay.
Decent.
They're all right. Yeah, it's okay. They're all right.
All right.
I'd say that was a part of why we dropped the brand as well. Is it's just like anything. You kind of get a good one or a bad one sometimes, and it seemed like we were getting a little more bad than good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we that was why that was the demise of Zero at our.
Does anyone compete with these guys or not?
That company Energica, they've got some street bikes. These guys make some street bikes too that are probably more of their bread and butter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't lie. Not being in that arena, I am definitely. I like race fuel and you know what I mean. I'm all about the Let's go real fast and those don't do it. So
I don't think it's going to take off. Me personally.
What's that? Electric?
The
electric stuff.
At some point, we may have a choice. I mean, at some point with the APA, I'm friends with the president of the MRF, and they're constantly battling with the CARB.
Yeah.
EPA, and at some point, I don't know if there's going to be a choice.
Yeah.
At least on new stuff. Now, obviously, you'll be able to buy.
It's gonna be around forever.
Right.
You can't mandate to go away.
Right.
But I'm sure it'll get better. Yeah. I think the answer is it will get better when the technology gets better. I think your adoption will get better when you can charge in 5 minutes. So the time it would normally take you at the gas station.
Right.
That's when electric changes.
You can go 300-400 miles.
You go 300-400 miles.
Charge,
yeah. That being said, a tank of fuel is typically 100-150 miles. So you don't. It's the inability to charge and get back on the bike. That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's true. So, what made you get out of the motorcycle business and just transition to the track and the training and stuff?
Yeah. So I think. So historically, right, everybody's heard the term or the phrase, the last day you work is the first day you do something you're passionate about or you love, right? The problem with that is the inverse of that statement is the bottom line is the things you love become work.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have walked by, let's call it 11 years ago, a Superleggera or some exotic motorcycle. And like I was looking in your lobby, you have some beautiful motorcycles out there. I can appreciate that stuff.
Right.
Towards the end there, I couldn't give two shits about what was in my shop. It didn't really matter how exotic it was. You just kind of glaze over. And as a young entrepreneur, I went into that naive like young entrepreneurs do. And it was just a handshake, and it was great until it's like, it doesn't work for both of us because I had a partner.
Right.
And for years, I think we were both a little miserable in that there's always an inequity when there's a partnership. There's always this tug of war about who's doing more or less, or what
Right.
direction do we go?
Right.
Do we spend all the money now? It's an election year. What does history say? Do we throttle on? Do we throttle off? And the directional pull, right? So I think partner and I were both at the end of that rope. And ironically, while I ended up leaving, he was the one that had the balls to come up and say, "It ain't working, dude. We've got to figure something else out."
Right.
And my word's not his in this scenario. It's either I go or you go.
Right.
And at that time, while I had had multiple conversations with my wife about, I think I don't want to do this anymore. I'm over it. And she would convince me, it's your blood, sweat, and tears. It's your shop. You can never walk away from that, so on and so forth. So I stuck in there. So I think he did us a justice in saying, let's just figure out a way. But the shitty thing is it's just like a divorce. And you go into the divorce without a prenup. When it comes time to separate things, what do you do? Right. So
kids, if you're watching, the tip of the day is
that unfortunately
prenup.
is the shitty side of it. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping that we can move past it. It's been a healthy move for me, to be honest with you. My workload, hopefully my current boss isn't listening, but has decreased significantly.
Right.
Stress level is significantly different. And income's a little different too. So income when you're self-employed, small motorcycle shop, is you're building your brand and your assets. It's not, at least my shop was not a huge income for me. It was definitely, I'm building the future and the investment side. So got a little bit of the investment early in, built it up to a place where hopefully the legacy lives on and, it'll be great. But out with that, and now I'm at the Podium Club. So
it's funny you mention that because I think people do assume, hey, this guy owns a dealership. He's got these fancy bikes.
Everybody
he must
thinks
be
you're
rolling in the
rich as can be because you have
Yeah.
a motorcycle dealership.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a very difficult industry. So to paint the picture, I started this with a couple dollars in my checking account with Vision, a machine shop in MV Augusta, and then now we're competing with Ride Now and Go AZ and like these very huge, corporations really,
Right.
So to make that successful, you typically make the sacrifice for your staff and for the growth of the business. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So now your focus is entirely on Podium Club and on Break Free and obviously the tire distribution as well.
Stuff, yeah.
So what's a typical day like for you?
Yeah, so good gig for sure. So so through all of that, in 2014, I went to a buddy of mine who owned a track day company that I was working for and said, "Hey, track day is really fun. I've been doing it forever. I love it, but I want to go racing. I want to go road racing." And he was like, "Dude, you're out of your mind for wanting to do that because it is a really difficult business to be in. And young entrepreneur, you can conquer the wind heading in your direction. You can do anything. Hey, dude, if you don't want to do it, I'm going to." And he wished me the best of luck. And started up desert road racing, and we ended up doing some road racing. So we were at like Firebird, Wild Horse Pass, depending on when you look it up, and Indy Motorsports Ranch. We would go between those two, and we did a road racing company. And that was good. I lost a lot of money doing that, unfortunately. Very difficult business to be in because you have to own things like timing and scoring systems.
Right.
And you have to have all of these things.
Insurance, I'm sure.
Insurance is astronomical.
Yeah.
Like $15,000 a year, easy for insurance for a track day road
Probably
racing.
more than that now.
A little more than that, yeah. Super expensive. So started off doing that, and it was going good for a while for sure. And we noticed that our success, though, came from track days. So we would do track day on Saturday and racing on Sunday. We would sell out Saturday and struggle to pay the bills on Sunday week over week. So it was kind of like, maybe we should be doing more of this. So we started doing more track days and kind of retired the road racing stuff. So I've been doing track days with Desert Road Racing and Break Free Track Time for a little over a decade now.
Wonderful.
And so the interactions that I've had with racetracks And so like Apex, when that was in Maricopa, that was getting built, reached out to their ownership. Jayson was one guy, and another guy named Matt. Yeah. And they had what was, the new product coming. And we were trying to get in there. Dan with the Podium Club, he had just recently, at that time, announced he was building a racetrack. So just try to have good rapport with everybody. Sure. I know the track management at Firebird really well. I know the track management at Arizona Motorsports Park really well. Indy, same thing, So with Dan coming in, I've just kind of sat on the sideline and really consulted for him. I should have been charging his ass a whole lot of money earlier on for sure. But just kind of consulted. He would say like, hey, I've got this guy, Tim, and he's working on designing this racetrack. And there's this organization overseas, Apex Racing Design and Circuits, and they build these racetracks, and we're trying to put something together. And he, believe it or not, was blown away when I was like, motorcycles do all of the things race cars do, because he was total tunnel vision on what the car side of the business would do. So we built the track to be FIA and FIM safety standards. It's really built for motorcycles. He would tell you that too, not just because I'm the motorcycle guy at the racetrack.
Because Apex isn't that way. That's not.
I think that's their shortcoming there, is that they lack some safety aspects. I think that we have at Podium Club.
Sure.
So been doing that for a little while, and then obviously he actually was a lot of guidance through the breakup at the shop, and a great source of information and insight. And he had a lot of business partners, and that were successful and not successful in the past. So he was really helpful with that stuff.
Yeah.
And when things finalized with the shop being, transitioning away, it's like, dude, let's do it. Let's get you on board. So
nice.
So I'm at the Podium Club now.
Hey there, this podcast is brought to you by the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. Just want to let you know that Law Tigers is by your side. If you're ever in a motorcycle accident and you're injured, the Law Tigers is there for you. We have lawyers throughout the entire country that are riders and enthusiasts ready to help you in your time of need. We obviously don't want to see anyone get hurt, but when you do, Law Tigers is there for you. Don't forget, this is the Law Tigers podcast studio, and we're proud to support this podcast, and we hope you never need us. If you do, call us at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS.
That's
so
cool.
Being that you've been around racing and teaching amateurs,
sure,
tell me some horror stories. Tell me some
horror
funny
stories?
stuff that you see. Like, tell me about the guy who rolls out thinking he's the big dick and he wraps it around a tree or something.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think of.
Sure. So training is pretty funny. You definitely get a wide variety of skill sets and characters, for sure. So let's see, funniest situation. So I had a gentleman come out who had convinced, so we interview people before they come out just to make sure we have an understanding as to what their skill level is. And candidly, it's kind of like asking a woman what they weigh, right? You kind of get...
Everybody lies.
You kind of get a portion of the truth, but maybe not all of it, right? So we ask these guys and gals, like, what's your skill set? And we get a lot of guys that are like, I'm an ex-racer. I doubt you guys have a coach that's fast enough for me.
Oh my God, that's.
And
funny.
we get them out there, and it is like polar opposites. So we'll pull in. We've got some guys that are like pro-level racers with us. Sean Varsky, he's pro-level guy. More recently, we had Josh Hayes come out. This is a guy that's won championships. And you get a guy that says like, hey, I'm at that level. And I pull in this coach who's expecting a student at that level. And it just doesn't happen. It's that happens candidly more frequently than it should. Yeah, that happens a lot. So, and the most inspiring, probably, I don't know how old she was. I'm gonna guess well into her 60s. Probably 90 pounds on a little sport bike, and she was the most receptive and implemented everything we told her. Just an inspiration to everybody, and just 60 something doing it at the racetrack.
That's awesome.
Her first training ever, and it was great.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
You attract. I mean, I've heard rumors you got guys flying in on helicopters. You've got race trucks. I mean, you attract all types, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We we have we've had some celebrities come out who've helicoptered in for sure.
Come on, name drop. Let's hear who it was.
Name drop.
And you've got some. I know you guys. I obviously don't want to disclose name, but like local
those
billionaire
guys don't
that
like us
flies.
talking about it too much.
Billionaires that fly.
Yeah, it
in,
wouldn't surprise
me.
Race team. I mean, you should see the level of expense and the degree to which people invest in like race teams. Like,
Well-
these
Oh,
are just
yeah.
these aren't even like these are guys who just invest because they want to go racing.
Well, and
cars, especially
when
cars
I
is
was
what I've
out
seen.
there,
Yeah.
you've got those storage containers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I watched them crack open a couple of them, and they pull these cars out ready to go, and it was awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Here goes a car ripping the track, and then they took 3 laps to get off. Then 2 bikes jump on, and then it was
Yeah.
just like a revolving door of people. So you guys are you considered a privateer track? Is that what it's? Is that
Yeah,
how it's
so I'll break down
classified?
what the Podium Club is. So I think we are defining kind of what we are. It's ever evolving, right?
Okay.
But we're a membership based racetrack. What that means is we're the country club for motorsports people. So instead of grabbing your golf clubs and going and spending some time and network at the golf club with the boys, we're motorsports guys and gals. We got a bunch of women, bunch of men, and that's our networking crew. And we don't pound out 18 holes. We pound out 18 laps at a time, if you will. And we split the time. So open wheel cars, like your F1 style car, we've got a bunch of those out there. Sedans, so anywhere from we see like GTIs, like Volkswagen GTI, like very capable little track car, all the way to real high end, exotics. There's a Lamborghini team that's come out. They're actually at Apex too. Sparkle Farts.
Yeah.
Right.
Guy's a local billionaire.
Yeah. Hot pink Lamborghinis.
Sparkle farts.
That's one,
Sparkle
that's one of
farts.
that car was actually up at
It was a concourse.
Concourse. Yeah. That we were
beautiful.
At, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Beautiful team, beautiful program. Really, really neat. Definitely high dollar.
Yeah.
Definitely high dollar. So the Podium Club caters to that, as to the racer, I think, is really where their niche is, though. So we do have a couple of those, high dollar guys that like to come in and enjoy some private time at the track. But I think where our demographic is we're catered more to the racer, the street enthusiast, that kind of guy. So our price point's a little bit lower because of that. And with that, we offer tons of access to racetrack. So that's
amazing.
what the Podium
It's
Club
awesome.
is. Yeah. We also do public events. So like Moto America was out. We've had some semi-pro race teams for automobiles out as well. Porsche comes out. McLaren comes out. We have lots of small venue all the way through big venue, big ticket stuff. So it's a pretty cool place.
I just like being out there because I had heard about the Podium Club.
Yeah.
And then going out there and seeing, and maybe it's just me, but I could see the potential because you guys are out there.
Yeah.
But
so
you've got
we're-
room to grow, room to expand, room to do whatever
we do.
you guys want to do.
Yeah, so we're so a Tessa. There's often some confusion about what a Tessa is. So a Tessa it's 2 square miles that we'll call it a guy owns, and his vision is that will be a motorsports oasis. So kind of like Thermal, right? They're a few decades ahead in their vision, but this is to your point in terms of potential housing. A stellar, Scottsdale Air Park type of thing because. To Ari's point, the guy that has disposable income sometimes has a helicopter. Sometimes they have planes.
Right.
And it would be great to have your plane in your hangar next to your race car or your motorcycle and go pound some laps, come back and fly back to Colorado. And it'd be a great day.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be a part of our future. But, as it sits right now, I'd say we're focusing more on like member amenities and kind of improving those types of things. And probably some strategic partnerships. Should start to see some growth out there pretty soon. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I'm not a golfer, so to me,
that's where I
track-
go.
Yeah, the track's the way to let off some steam, and it's whether it's a motorcycle or a car,
It's great.
It's just awesome and exhilarating, and
So
it's an incredible experience. Yeah.
So you've got access to the track.
Sure.
How many laps are you putting down on a week? Because you're just making me
You
jealous
know,
here is all it is. I mean, you're talking
so
about
I'm
it.
sure that it sounds like my job is just hitting the track every day.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Just doing laps. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on the temperature, maybe. I actually work in Chandler out of our corporate office.
Okay.
So
Desk jockey.
I'm
You
the
made it
desk
all
jockey.
cool,
Yeah,
and now I'm pissed.
Yeah. So I do end up getting out. Probably we'll call it every other week or so.
Oh.
And I burn up quite a few tires for sure. Go Dunlop.
So what do you got in your garage then?
Right now, I have an Aprilia RS 660,
Okay.
which is up for sale if anybody wants one. And then I have a Ducati V2. That's the current, the workhorse. So
I had a 900 Super Sport back in the day.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, good motorcycle.
yeah.
Comfy. So the V2s, that's what won the last couple championships in its class. It's powerful, fun motorcycle. Not quite that 200 horsepower stuff we were talking about before.
Yeah.
But not quite the like entry level bike.
Right,
So
right.
kind of in the middle. That's where I like to be.
So do you envision yourself staying within the motorcycle industry long term, or anything else you might want to do down the road?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that kind of more recently, and ironically, throughout my entire career, I just kind of ride the wave, to be honest with you. So this wave is good. I like it. I like Dan quite a bit, and my team and the team that we work with are fantastic. I know you were awesome in showing me some of your team outside, but I've got I got 2 guys that help out with marketing. They're awesome.
Nice.
We've got our general manager and his team. They're, a great experience. They're awesome people. Right. So it's a fun place. As far as what the next move is, I don't know that it's in motorsports. Difficult industry to be in, to be honest with you. And it's
especially
a small,
right now, things are really rough on them.
It's tough.
On the bike sales side, especially,
tough. Yeah, ironically, when we were in COVID, we had the option to really pull up or throttle up. And I was concerned for a few weeks, but just like everything, COVID like turned up, and we were rocking and rolling.
Sure.
But yeah, difficult time, I think. So I think I got out at a really good time.
Yes.
Personally, for multiple reasons. And I'm not sure what's next, but we'll see.
What would you say is like the absolute worst fucking thing about the motorcycle industry, or whether it's as a dealer owner or and the best thing?
So I think there's some great people. Let me get a drink here.
So you asked that tough question. He's got to take a drink before he gives you that answer.
Yeah.
Oof, here we go.
So what motorsports industry? So I think there's some great people. Unfortunately, that are overshadowed by a bunch of shitty, shady people and portions of the industry. I think there's a lot of I'm about like working together. I think if we all work together, typically we all improve results.
Right.
And even as a dealer, I had a great relationship with Onanimoto. We sold the same type of motorcycles. I've tried to be great partners with a local track day company. There's no reason why we shouldn't be, but it's just sometimes not received. And so I would say the lame people that are in it, and I didn't mention anybody, and it's not any of those partners that I rattled off. They're all good people, but there's definitely some shitty ones out there, and I tell you, they overshadow a lot of the good. So I think that's probably one of the harder parts of dealing with the motorsports industry. Sure.
Yeah. We're obviously in a little different situation with dealing with people that are in accidents, but on the other, in the lifestyle part, to me has been the best. Meeting like-minded people and being able to really live your passion. But yeah, it's like any business, you're gonna have good people and bad people
for sure. And it's just small, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody's just kind of just really trying to be protective of their space, and I get it. It's typically not malicious. It's just trying to hold on to what little piece you've got.
Right, and I don't think people realize that the motorcycle industry, even it's not like the auto industry. It's
not at all.
The
super
money.
tiny.
Most of these dealers are not making millions of dollars, especially when on the downturn. The margins are thin. Competition. You got high interest rates. Bikes keep getting more expensive. It's just the money isn't there.
Right. It's tough industry.
In most cases. And I think most people don't do it for the money. They do it for the
we just do it because we love it.
Yeah.
It's passionate business for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing with that is you look at some ways that these businesses are being ran, these manufacturers. The second a manufacturer makes one foul move, everyone in the community is like, oh, no, don't buy that anymore because they can't manage their business. Where you look at the automotive, we don't know half the stuff that goes wrong with the big five, right?
Sure.
Something's going wrong, but we still are buying those vehicles or needing those vehicles. But, KTM's going through struggles right now, and people are like, oh, geez.
Right.
Harley's with that whole CEO business and all, those leaked messages. And it's like it's too tight of a community where people will then put their hands up and say, nope, I'm going to walk away from it. And then it hurts everybody, regardless of what you ride or what you believe.
Yeah, so we're big proponents of trying to get everybody together. we actually, in the spirit of that, we have an event in October. So we call it the Halloween Massacre because it's Halloween themed. So we have typically a DJ, costume contest, a lot of fun, 3 days at the racetrack. People camp out. From the Carolinas, we got guys that are coming out like all over the country. I think our most traveled, the mileage was around 2,200 miles to attend this 3-day event. And we partner with Apex Assassins, Legion Moto, and Break Free Track Time as 3 track day companies. And rather than us, try to corner our little market, we've just all worked together. Nice. And it's 3 stellar days that we work together on. So it's going good. Yeah.
Very cool. So what would like old Jayson tell young Jayson if in terms of like advice?
Advice?
Yeah.
I would say I think we've done all right as far as the path that we've gone. It's just more of it's the stuff that you're naive about, right? So I said like that on young entrepreneur thing, right? I would have definitely made sure we had a good contract going in.
Right.
And probably would have made the move. If I could financially have made the move into motorcycle industry earlier, I probably would have.
Okay.
And so there's that one side that's like what the angel on one shoulder, maybe the devil in this scenario. And the other is I would have said maybe just stick with where you're at, right? Stick with corporate America. You would have made probably a ton of money, and there's a little bit of stability that comes along with that because it's big bank, right? They're literally all too big to fail. That's literally a fact.
Would you be happy though?
But I'd have been miserable.
Yeah, he'd be 1 week at track a month rather than every other.
I know a lot of wealthy people that are not happy. I mean,
without a doubt, without a doubt. So I don't know. One side of me would say, go harder earlier.
Sure.
The other would say just stick with what works because it's easy, right?
Sure. What about racing? Like I know we've been talking about the track and racing, and that's your kind of thing. Sure. I go to Europe. MotoGP is huge.
Yeah.
Same thing with like F1. F1's made the transition here with obviously you have the show and you have the following, and now we got.
Oh, isn't it Vegas now is the global headquarters?
I don't know, but I believe that is correct.
They built a massive building. I was out there and I saw this huge monstrosity of a building out there just off the strip.
Is it? Yeah,
that I think is their global headquarters.
Well, I know they've got Miami. They've got I think Coda.
Long Beach, Coda.
Yeah, so they've on the automotive side. You're even seeing soccer now trying to being more popular here with teams. Why isn't it happening with motorcycles?
It's a great question. Yeah, what's the reason? So I think, we were talking about MV Agusta, right? And you know why MV Agusta does really well, especially in Italy? It's because it's a brand that is like the home brand. You know what I mean? And most of that's why I think the Bagger League stuff does so well here in the United States, because it's our home brand, right? Okay. So I think that GP has struggled for a variety of reasons. Throughout the years. I personally have loved it. It's been epic, I started watching when it was like Valentino Rossi and Sete Gibernau,
right,
all the way to now it's like Bagnaia and Marc Marquez, right? So I've got this huge background of GP and I've been following forever. As to why it doesn't get on here, it's bizarre to me because I absolutely love it. I've been to almost all of the races that you've rattled off.
Sure.
And I can tell you...
There's only one race here, though, right?
Yeah, they just come to Coda now. So they used to do Laguna for a while.
Right.
And which I've been to a GP there, a couple GPs there. They're great events. Ironically, I have yet to go to an F1, but I can tell you from the outside looking in, the spectacle is nowhere near what F1 is. I think if MotoGP had the show like F1... it'd be huge. And, I don't know anything, so this isn't like some insider trick info here. But I had heard at one point like F1 and MotoGP were considering like, why not run on the same weekend? Why not have, instead of having like GP and they have like these smaller series races go on to fill the time because you can only have so many MotoGP races.
Right.
Cut that out. Just have GP and F1 together. I think that would be pretty epic.
It'd be a ticket there.
I don't know if all the tracks, like I've been to the F1 Miami.
Safety, different issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't build the track. So like Coda, right? So Coda is
Would
a
work.
racetrack.
Yeah.
where
Well,
we
yeah, you
run
can't do it in
motorcycle
Vegas.
cars.
Yeah,
You
they
can't do
shut
that
down
street
Vegas.
stuff. Yeah, that shit's not safe. They do
not
that
safe.
like Macaw and like crazy races overseas that are like real road racing.
Yeah.
In America, I'm not a huge fan of that happening here. That being said, I wore my TT shirt this morning.
Yeah.
But you know, I think that it needs that spectacle status to bring that growth behind it.
Yeah.
Hey there, everybody. I really want to share something very important and near to dear to me. It's called UM and UIM, uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage for your motorcycle. It's something you can't afford not to have. We are lawyers. We represent injured riders, but you need to still call your insurance broker and ask them about maximizing that coverage so that in the unlikely event you get in a motorcycle accident, we can get you the compensation you deserve. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Call today and maximize your insurance.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, along those lines, it makes me ask the question of, we don't have the growth. We don't have the eyeballs. You don't have the spectator base yet. What's driving this next generation of racers? Because it's not a financial component. I mean, they're not getting rich on this.
Yeah, so it's weird. It's a difficult question because you have a lot of like sim driving, right? And you have motorcycle that's doing the same type of thing. You can buy like a sim for a motor and sit in your living room. It looks like a motorcycle. And you can sim ride and learn race tracks all over the country. So I hate to say it because one half of me is like, that shit sounds lame as can be. But I candidly think like the sim racing stuff for motorcyclists will probably be taken off. That'd be an industry to consider.
Wow.
And but I think hopefully making the bikes a little bit more manageable. So you're seeing right now in Moto America, especially, and it's worldwide when this stuff happens. But you're kind of transitioning from like these super high horsepower bikes where they're actually changing the displacement and kind of making them a little bit smaller so they're a little more manageable. So I think that'll help racing too, because it's really hard to get on something that is wanting to buck you off,
Right.
and easier to get on something a little bit smaller. So
so let's talk about Moto America, and obviously I don't want to besmirch or belittle Moto America because we've done some stuff with them, but
yeah, we like Moto America a lot.
But
Great program.
why is that? Why that used to be Superbike? What was that? What was the previous one?
AMA,
right?
Yeah,
AMA,
it was before it was Moto America.
Right. Was it now? So what's going on with that? Because I don't. That really hasn't blown up here, right? It's been kind of.
Ironically, I believe their followership has dramatically improved because of the Bagger series.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. It's kind of back to why the whole MotoGP hasn't taken off. It's just a smaller, more affordable subset of that, and it's phenomenon. I have no clue as to why that stuff doesn't.
Doesn't get,
and you make a great point. I mean, I know personally a friend of mine races in bagger racing.
Sure.
Out of the passion and desire.
Yeah.
He flat out says, I'm not making any money on it. He owns a shop. He's like, it doesn't drive business to my shop.
Sure.
It's just my passion and desire. And I'm like, dude, my hat's off to you, because at some point you've got to draw the line in passion and financial.
Yeah.
Because when you're just paying and showing up, whether you podium or not, there's no purse, there's no kitty, there's nothing that's getting you flush or ahead.
I know a couple of the guys that run like the Moto America series and your current racers. And ironically, that might be a part of it too, because back when it was AMA, the racers were making a pretty good living. Like you could be, first 20 guys on the grid, and you were, kind of making ends meet. You could travel with the team and make enough money. A lot of it was small shops that were funding it, but you could do it. You know what I mean? Well, shit, now the operating expense of a team is, $250,000 just to stick a toe in. It's really high dollar to go racing. So it's hard. It's really hard for guys to get into the sport because it is so expensive to do.
How many races are there, Moto America races are there in the U.S.?
It's a good question. I don't know the schedule as well as I should this year, but I would say there's probably somewhere there of around 10 rounds.
10 rounds.
Who's your racer?
Rounds. Moto America, my racer, I really like Bobby Fong. I've had a good relationship with him. I wouldn't say like he and I are buddies by any means, but I've met the racers a couple times, a couple different racers, and he's been a hero of mine for years. I've seen him just do some epic things, and then hopefully he doesn't hate me for saying this, some bonehead moves, and, you know, crash the bike out, or, you know, just do really well and then have a series of crashes and just like, oh shit, this would have been his year. And but he always comes back, man, and he just always, you know, he's always up front running. So I like that guy quite a bit. They're all really good guys, to be honest with you. I've had opportunity to meet quite a few. Cam Peterson's pretty good dude. Josh Hayes. I mean, it's crazy. He's like the professor almost. Like he's always like stern and you know, he's always professional. He's kind of always on. You know what I mean? So you can tell there's differences between the riders for sure.
So the top Moto America guy.
Yeah.
And is Marquez? Who's at the top of?
So Marquez be like your Moto GP.
Yeah, so is he a top
Gagne, Fong, those are your Moto America guys that are running up front. Josh Herron, you know, the Ducati, those kind of guys.
So the skill level abilities of the top Moto GP versus the top Moto America? Is there a huge gap?
Huge gap.
Huge
gap.
Discipline, right? I mean,
is it like Indy versus F1 kind of gap, or?
So here, the best way I could describe it, right? And there's natural talent. You know what I mean? There's people that have that natural talent. But like Nicky Hayden was probably our more recent, well-known U.S. rider outside of maybe Colin Edwards that was at GP.
Okay.
And he came in, and even his first few years, you know, he was struggling in back of the pack. Very infrequently.
In F1.
No, this is
MotoGP. MotoGP, rather. That's what I meant. Yeah, MotoGP.
So
our best here struggled in MotoGP.
Yeah, GP at that level. Yeah. So we don't seem to breed a ton of that talent. And it's not because we don't love the sport. It's just a lot of the racing occurs overseas. So you take a U.S. rider over there, and we're like, hey, so here's Misano, or here's this beautiful racetrack. And it's the first time they're seeing it. Well, they're racing against a kid that has spent his entire life pounding laps on that racetrack.
Right.
So, man, talk about a disadvantage. You know what I mean? So
Got it.
It's a combination of those things where, you know, if we had an American rider who was really dominating the sport, it's kind of like when the Suns are killing it, right? Everybody's a Suns fan. You know, if the U.S. was dominating MotoGP, I'm sure we would have a little bit stronger following behind it.
I think it's part of it. You're right. We don't have a homegrown.
Yeah. And shit, Nicky was a decade ago. You know, that was a long time ago.
Wow. Did he?
It's been that long.
Yeah.
When he did move over there, did you see an uptick in U.S. interest in motorcycle racing, or was it not?
I don't think so. Candidly, yeah, no? I don't think so. Unfortunately, so good question, but yeah.
You know, I think the other thing that we battle, I think, in the country here is, no, not downplaying at all, but you've got motocross.
Yeah, motocross is big.
That motocross is huge, and it's two wheels. So I love the stuff. You know, I can't do dirt riding like I'd like to, but it's like, man, that stuff is so. I have a sister-in-law. She'll hate me for seeing this, but she participates with my aunt, two women, in motocross fantasy leagues.
So how do you get 60,000 people to a motocross arena?
Yes,
but you can't get 20,000 or even. And I've been to some of these races, and they're not getting 20, 30,000.
Yeah, the Moto America stuff's a little bit lower. Yeah.
So I mean, so there's obviously an interest in motorsports,
or. Is it the pizzazz? Is it the fire that shoots? Is it the kickers and the jumps?
It's the show, right?
Yeah, a little bit of the show. I think we're lacking. Yeah. You know, there's a on the automotive side, there's a organization called Grid Life, and or Fuel Fest, right? So these are, you know, it's motorsports is ever evolving, right? So we're stuck in the NASCAR era. You're gonna get stuck, right? So what's the next move? You ask me, what's my next move, right? So motorsports is evolving into, I think it's a different demographic, right? We were, my age, I think I was the smell of the fuel and, you know, the hot chicks and, you know, all of that stuff, and sex, drugs, and rock and roll was what was appealing. And this younger group is more into, you know, what DJ is going to be there.
Right.
And is there, you know, what's the social aspect of the event?
Absolutely.
And these Grid Life and Fuel Fest, they'll have, I mean, it's a spectacle. You'll have drifting going on. You'll have a car show going on. You'll have a wet T-shirt contest going on. You'll see me there. You'll have, you know, all these different
or
things.
judging.
Thank God for everybody. Just hopefully judging. But that's what motorsports is kind of evolving. You go to one of those grassroots organization, blow Moto America's attendance out of the water.
Well,
crazy.
And it's funny. So I'm a Western guy, and we go to a lot of rodeos.
Right.
And rodeos are doing the same thing.
Sure.
I look at rodeo. For me, it's the number one first extreme sport in the country.
Yeah, yeah.
And what are they doing now?
Motorsports, buddy.
Yeah.
You always said it best.
Yeah.
And then what happens next? Now you go to the rodeo's over. They whip out a bunch of guys. They bring out not the floating, but the air pillows.
Yeah, the party
and they're
begins.
flipping the bikes. They're throwing,
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, this is like the oldest sport in this country, and it can't stand on its own, and it needs motocross to help support it.
That brings in the younger kids.
It does.
And they want to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's funny that we talked about Cruzy.
Yeah.
And I think he's got his finger on the pulse. Like Arizona Bike Week. Let's face it. It's getting tired, stale.
Yeah.
Same shit at Westworld.
Yep.
We have a vending spot there. Cave Creek's awesome. For going to the bars, hanging out. But when you're talking about pure entertainment, there wasn't anything. And now he's got the car drifting. He's got the motorcycle stunts, the low riders, and for a first year there, second year overall, it was tons of energy. There was thousands of people there, and that's I think what our industry needs is the entertainment factor and the social factor.
Kick it up a
food
notch.
trucks out there, and I was obviously we were a sponsor, so I'm a little bit biased, but that's what I think the motorcycle industry needs is to reinvent itself and to figure out ways to bring younger people in and just having
family.
and families.
And family.
100%.
You know what I mean? That's what you're really speaking to. Is my son? He give two shits about the motorcycle racing side of an event.
Right.
But there's the hot chicks doing the contest, or there's some gaming portion.
We're really learning something. Your father likes that all of a sudden. He brings up
Hot
a t-shirt
chicks.
contest.
Me and my son,
That's all right.
Train
my
him right.
favorite-
Hot chicks.
My favorite picture ever of my son is the first time we went to a Lucas Oil event. We met the Monster Energy girls. I've never in my life seen the kids smile so fast. That was big. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's true. I think, like I said, I've been to a couple of F1 races, and it's the spectacle. It's the energy.
everybody involved.
I was watching practice laps while Ludacris was singing on stage as
How cool.
F1 cars are zipping by, and it's like that's in the globe with all the shit coming out. The big, the sphere. To me, it's not just the racing anymore. It's the spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to gladiatorial games of ancient Rome. It was the spectacle, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't just the fighting. They recreated war scenes. So I think that's what the industry needs. The motorcycle industry. They got to figure out a way to make it fun, family oriented, and not just about the racing.
Yeah. So you talked about like participation, right, and increasing viewership. Well, the guys that are passionate about it, it seems to be kind of that number is like static.
It's
right?
flat.
It seems pretty flat.
Yeah.
But if you can bring in the other pieces, that's where I think the numbers kind of grow. Right.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
Maybe that's our next.
And it's funny you say
Yeah.
that because we talk about that next generation, right? And I'm going to pick on my sister-in-law here because my brother wanted to have a motorcycle. So this is years ago. So he picked out a bike, didn't know how to ride. So I had to go pick up the bike for him at the dealership. Baked his first tire on it because I had to pick it up, so I get to beat up your bike. I paid for his training course, so we went and did the course. He got his license, life changes, sold the bike, whatever it is. Now he's looking for another bike. But now his son, he's Boston's 9, 10 years old, wants to have a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So they buy him a little pit bike.
Sure.
And it's funny because my sister-in-law doesn't see what she's doing. She's fueling the beast.
This is where it all begins.
Yeah, she doesn't
That's where it all
realize that
begins.
she doesn't
It's
want her
great.
husband, my brother, on the street. So he got off the street. Now they're putting little Boston on the dirt. My brother's now buying a dirt bike so he can ride with his son. I'm like, you're just transitioning. He's going to hit 16, 17 years old. Dirt bikes will stay parked and there'll be street bikes in this garage.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's that family element
Your
because
kids have bikes,
It is.
right?
all three of my boys have dirt bikes.
What do they prefer? Be honest, horses or dirt bikes? Is there preference or not, or is it just
I think they're evenly split.
yeah?
Because it's such a difference
Yeah.
when you can jump on the dirt bike and they've got these little whips they've built, so they go out and they rip them and have a good time. And my 6-year-old is on one of those little Chinese Buramac electric,
Yeah.
and loves it.
Sure.
The other two are on Hondas, but just love it. But then when they get on on their horses, it's complete different.
Different.
There's
Yeah,
something
different.
about, and you can't compare the two. we go right up in the hills and it's awesome on the bikes. But then when you take a horse up in the same path, the same trail, you see things different. So I compare it to riding in a car to riding on the motorcycle. Yeah. You experience that road differently on the bike than you do in a car.
Sure.
And so, to answer your question, I don't know. I think if I went and said, okay, you have to give up one, either this kid's going to take your dirt bike or I have to shoot the horse. Pick which way you do. I don't know where they would pick. But
yeah, you did. It's funny you mentioned different perspective on an electric bike in the desert.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
Saw the wheels turning when I said that.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, there's my excuse to get another motorcycle really cool. I don't need. But
they're really cool.
That'd be cool to be out there just in nature and get that perspective.
I always wanted to pick up one of the Zeros when they first came out.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I wanted to find one that was like a salvage title because I wanted to use. I like to hunt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how nice would it be to jump on that sucker, chasing down a herd of elk? I can get 10, 20 miles in, chain it to a tree, and I know I've only gone 10 miles. I've got plenty to come back with.
Sure.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And heck, I could tow a little trailer, and if I harvest an animal, I don't have to sweat and work anymore.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then again, I still don't have one. Maybe because I haven't learned where to go find a salvage Zero that I trust enough.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Typically, they're literally garbage.
It's because the batteries.
They're just fucking destroyed. Yeah.
We work with a guy here that does e-bikes, Soul e-bike gym.
Sure, yeah.
And they're awesome. They go 30 miles an hour. They're pedal and cruisers, great billet.
That's what I got to do. I just got to do one of those. Then I can pedal my butt out if I get lost.
Yeah.
Place to start.
Yeah.
Like the Suron and like all of those though. Like that's just I don't know. Actually, that's a big growing market for motorsports. To be honest with you, we might not call it a motorsport, but that what's no longer the BMX bike is not quite a dirt bike, but that market is just
and
booming.
It's huge.
Maybe I'm not versed enough. What about trails bikes? Are they going electric on those?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you talk about weight and compact and be able to maneuver quick. I think, the trials bikes, those would be.
Somebody makes electric version.
Well, it's funny though because you think about it though. We all got into motorcycles because of a different reason. You know, whether it's influence or necessity or desire. I think the problem we have now in society as a whole is I don't have to make my motorcycle as versatile. It can just be what I jump on and cruise on the weekend, or I ride it this week to work. And then when I go to the desert, I can jump on the side-by-side. I can jump on this. I can jump on that. We have so many options that it's hard to put that priority 100% back to one and actually drive that focus and desire.
Well, then try like when you have other things going on, like trying to even use one of them. It's like I've been to go to the track now, for like the past 3 weeks, and shit comes up, and I'm like, missed the track again.
Yeah.
So you have other things that come up that
the priorities,
but getting out there, once I'm out there, it's definitely.
That's why he quit his corporate America job. That's why he works for the track now.
Yeah. Have you ever rode one of the taken one of the radicals or the equivalent radicals out on the track?
I have. So a smaller version of it, we'll call it. I've had a chance to drive on the track, and those things are impressive. They're great. So the Radical is a sport bike motor in a well-designed car chassis, and it's a hybrid of electronics and brake between the two. And it actually, I think that there's been versions of cars that have motorcycle components on them throughout time, and they've just never got it right. Radical, a company called Rush, they've kind of getting to the point where they've figured it out.
They dialed it in.
Yeah,
it's like open wheel racing.
Awesome. Really?
It's amazing.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's a
cars.
Rush. Yeah. It's a Rush.
The arrow, so the arrow on those things forces the car down to the ground. So not only are you hauling ass because you got these big tires and all this power, but you have the downforce just pushing down on the car.
So you're hugging.
So as you're going through corners, you're just. I mean,
really?
it's exhilarating.
Yeah, the cars of today, even like GT3 Porsches, GT4s, they can't keep up.
Really?
They can't keep with the Radical. The Radical's got less. What's that? The average Radical,
maybe 200 horse.
200 horsepower, but
1,000 pounds.
because they're so light and versatile, they smoke like $300,000 sports cars. Yeah, it's nuts, and it's cool. Yeah, I think if you like racing or going fast, 2 wheels, 4 wheels, I think.
I'm finding I like both for sure. I've been on the 2-wheel side of the house my entire life. I would say only maybe the last 9 months, year or so that I've been like, cars are cool too.
Yeah.
And trying to see Tim Rose is one of the chief. He is our chief instructor at the Podium Club. So he's been giving me some guidance, which is invaluable. And it's crazy because I thought that I would have a lot of skills coming from the motorcycle racing side of the business. Sure. And I would just naturally just hop into a race car and just be ready to set
that's not the case,
track on fire. And it's a different animal. Yeah, there's a lot to learn. And it's vice versa. We, on the motorcycle side, really funny part too, you'd asked earlier, is we'll get guys that are super fast in cars.
Right.
And they just really struggle on the motorcycle side.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I found with the motorcycle, driving a car, I'm able to at least, I kind of have a pretty good idea about picking my line and looking forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm by no means super proficient in a car, but I do feel like having some experience riding motorcycles has given me.
I think it makes you a better car driver.
Yeah, but I still have obviously a lot to learn.
Are you jonesing for a great ride or go to a really cool event, whether it's local, maybe regional, or even national? Well, I've got the solution for you. At Law Tigers, we provide resources such as where all these events are taking place. It gets updated regularly with all the latest and greatest events, and I'm sure there's some that you would want to go to definitely. So if you're looking for that great ride or great event, visit lawtigers.com/events and check out what's going on in your area or nationally.
You have anything else you want to add?
So it's interesting, you talk about all of these changes, and it's easy to sit here, the three of us, and armchair quarterback the entire motorcycle industry, and give me another 25 minutes, we'll have it done and fixed, and we can just send out the briefings, right? But it's funny because I have to wonder, as riders, have we lost the reason that we got on the bike?
I don't know, man. I'm going to disagree with you. I think we love this thing because we love riding. It's the freedom. It's all of the great things that we've always loved about motorcycling, whether it's high horsepower, low horsepower, electric fuel, the freedom of being on two wheels. I don't think that ever changes. That's why motorcycles will likely and hopefully never go away. So I don't think we've lost any of that. I think where our work is cut out for us is the challenges, the technology that's in the house. So if we can pull these young people out of and sitting in front of a monitor and sitting in front of a TV screen, and the value of seeing, feeling, touching, smelling, all of these great things that we love as motorcyclists, we need to get them more on board with that. And I think that's where we have our work cut out. So the passion for it has never changed. I don't think that changes. But our exposure to it, we have to be more creative, and it's because we have our enemy on this one is literally the Xbox, the PlayStation, the
VR stuff,
Facebook, and all the sensory skills that aren't the real deal.
Yeah.
So if we can get people more into that side of things, it should continue for a ways to go.
It's a good point. I didn't think of it that way. I mean, You talk about where the sufferings are, and you start having to try to identify what it is, but you make a great point. I know a kid who's stuck on, he's got one of those drones.
Yeah,
he puts that whole headset on.
Sure.
And it's a single hand control, and next thing you know, he's out there zipping and he's pulling maneuvers and stunts and tricks and everything else. And I'm like, but you're just sitting here.
Yeah, it's a different kind of cool.
Yeah.
Different kind of cool.
Mom, where's Meatloaf?
It's funny though, because we're involved in a venture where with video game litigation.
Sure.
Where there are kids that are addicted to video games.
No shit.
And it's a thing.
Yeah, I can totally see it. I think my son, I'm gonna have to talk to you after this.
Yeah, no, and actually, so Lionel's involved. I'm involved. My dad, a few other, my sister, a couple others. Where we're partnered with a firm that basically takes cases where kids are either suicidal.
Oh, yeah.
They don't go to school. Their grades drop.
Sure.
They literally
antisocial.
Yeah,
you develop, dude. When you were a little kid and you had to, you didn't know anybody in the neighborhood unless you went and met them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's a set of skills that you take for granted now.
Ride your bike into the cul-de-sac.
Basketball, run around the neighborhood for better or worse. So So really, that to me, you could make the argument that getting your kids out on bikes,
it's clearly healthier.
Is way healthier. Whatever it is, get them out of the house and sitting there, playing video games and not being social, breathing fresh air, hanging out with other kids. I mean that could literally be the difference between life and death with some of these kids.
And heck, I would rather
sad.
pay the medical bills of my kids getting hurt.
The stitches.
I'd rather do all that than going, well, at least you got a story to tell. When you ask, what'd you do over the weekend? Well, nothing, man. I gamed. I had had a good win.
For sure. There's this whole life, this whole thing called life that's happening outside of these four walls.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it happens quick.
And it happens quick. Yeah. I've got a 21-year-old who's about to begin her life and a 14-year-old. So, and even then, you could see, my generation was get a piece of wood, find a block, jump your BMX bike over the kid. You know what I mean? Like that was fun. Yeah. And my daughter's idea of fun, even though she's 7 years different from my son, it's different kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So it's how do we figure out how to get these guys out of the house for sure?
I think it's a good thing we didn't have all those toys, all the video games.
Super grateful.
We all have addictive personalities. We would have been screwed if we had the video games.
We had the video games. I just never got into it. I did a little bit, but I got bored sitting behind.
I didn't really care for it. Yeah. It wasn't my thing.
I grew up broke. My parents couldn't afford it, so it was always the dream of like, oh, I wish I had that.
One period of my life where video games were really big, which Nintendo 64. They came out with the 007.
Oh,
which
yes.
was the first
that was
time
the only thing.
You could split it, but that was great because you could go 4 screens. You had 3 other buddies.
Yeah.
We were all trying to kill each other. It was great. Now my son plays, and he plays with buddies that are all over the world.
In Dubai. And
he's like, oh, yeah, I got all these buddies. I'm like, well, where are they at? You want to go hang out with them? He's like, oh, no, none of them live in Arizona.
No,
well, it's funny. So we've learned a little bit about that, where there's a strategy, these video game operators and developers that they get your son, not to pick on him here, but they get him and they pair him up with somebody in a complete opposite time zone. And then they make these little hooks in the game of, there's a new product drop at 2 a.m. And to keep him on longer. And his only friend is a guy in Dubai who's 8 hours ahead of him. So now he's staying up late to play the game. He's not performing in school. He's antisocial. It's like,
the good thing is we're A's and B's. He's got his shit together for sure.
That's
nice.
But I wish he was out doing a little more motorsports stuff for sure.
So what bikes that he got? Let's point the finger at
that.
Not
even his thing. Yeah, not even his thing. Yeah. So both my kids within 2 weeks of being born were at the racetrack, literally, and both of them.
Daughter, no interest either?
No interest. I think you take, it's weird. I see a lot of dads that like push their kid to like live through their child. You know what I mean? And I never really did any of that. It was just kind of like, if you guys like it, it's totally cool.
Right.
I kind of tried a little bit with my daughter, and candidly, it backfired. You know, when I was like, let's go. I was trying to, like 6 years old, PW50, let's go do it, And she, just wasn't her thing. Just probably a little too early. Yeah, so it's all right. Still love them. They're great. Right. They're still great.
Hey, and the door hasn't closed. I mean, how many people jumped on their bike the first time?
Ironically, my son, he's been a little more interested in car racing. So at the Podium Club, we get a little more exposure to cars now. So he's seeing another sport altogether, and he's liking the motorsport, the car stuff.
It's motorcycles, it's cars.
I see go-karting in his future, almost the immediate future. Honestly,
that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
I wish I could. I wish I had that opportunity as a kid to do karting.
Man.
Yeah.
Do you guys do karting out there as well?
We do a little bit of karting. The track's a little too big. I think that'll probably be one of the next like tracks. If we were to build another racetrack outside of, ironically, maybe a motocross or flat track, would be go-kart track.
That's cool.
The shitty side of it, though, unfortunately, as we're talking about Law Tigers, the liability with having kids with motorsports
it's massive.
My gosh, it is really tough. So trying to figure out a good way to make it so that it's affordable. So we had talked about like, MotoGP and Moto America being these 250, super high dollar programs, and how could Supercross and motocross? The answer is it's super affordable in comparison. You could get a $15,000 dirt bike, put 10, 20 grand into it, and you can go run with the boys if you have the skill.
Yeah.
Sure. And you can't do that anymore on the Moto America stuff. They have some classes that cater to that, and they're just not as popular. They just don't have the following, and what pays Moto America bills is the high dollar stuff. Yeah. So the Supercross and the motocross stuff is good for entry level because of the expense to play the game.
Sure.
It's a little easier. That's probably why there's more of it too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Crash your dirt bike, just pick that thing up
Well, yeah, the plastics are cheap.
Just replace the plastic. Scratch your sport bike. You're crying all the way home. You know.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna have to make a trip. Maybe
Yeah,
to go there
let's
for
do
the
it.
Go out there and actually
intended
use what it's
purpose
there
and
for.
actually,
Yeah, we're gonna have to kill like a couple of cows to get a suit big enough for you.
That's all right. I want the kangaroo ones. I've seen those kangaroo suits,
My
man.
suit now is kangaroo. It's awesome.
Is it because it's lighter?
Lightweight, yeah, a little lightweight. They're very vibrant. The colors are real vibrant, and they're real durable. Believe it or not, I'd say over probably the next decade in the evolution of suits there's textile now that is arguably better, you know, than leather on asphalt.
Well, it probably breathes a little bit better.
It's leather obviously as hot as can be. So you can get perforated where it'll, you know, asphalt resistant, we'll call it material. But there's a guy, I think it's Scott Redding this year is running it in World Superbike. So it suits predominantly, if not all, textile.
Well, then, it starts there. It's going to take off. I mean,
it's a decade out.
Air jackets, air vests, all that started there.
Best money you can spend right now on motorcycle safety equipment is airbag.
So I have to tell you, I bought one. I got one. And
for dirt biking or street biking?
For street biking.
Street biking. Yeah.
And I shame on me, I have not used it yet.
Me either. I have one too. I have to
it's
wear
hard
it.
because while the safety is, there's nothing better, at least at the moment, there's really nothing better. What makes them so safe is it's plastic bladder, and plastic means it doesn't breathe air, and they are hot.
Oh.
That's why a lot of guys don't wear the airbag stuff, is because it doesn't breathe. You can't breathe because it's just plastic bladder that inflates when it expands. Can't get air through it, man. That's the shitty side about the airbag technology. And I don't know what the solution is for that, but
I thought I charged mine. Went to go ride, and it wasn't charged.
It was
I'm like,
dead.
well, I'm not going to wear it if it's not charged.
Yeah.
So I need a tip. Lionel and I are going to race each other at some point. How do I smoke his ass? Give me a couple tips.
Step one, break free track time, get you some training.
There you go. Fair enough. And if I crash, how do I crash?
Perfect plug.
Two,
yeah.
make sure your checking account is strong before you show up.
There you go. All right.
No, I would say the answer would be is definitely some good training.
Yeah.
And just don't get the biggest, fastest, most glorious motorcycle. Hopefully every motorcyclist going into the sport has a thriving, long motorcycling career where the big bike, the dream bike will come.
Right.
But start with what you're most comfortable with. And that's typically a less displacement motorcycle than you think, because they're all really capable of doing some really cool stuff. So just get a good foundation, get some good training, get a good bike that's capable, and some seat time.
So you just told me I'm going to win because he's going to get the most expensive, fanciest bike
no,
out there.
No, I'm going to
he's going to be afraid.
I'm going to do some training.
He's going to do the training.
I'm going to come there and be like, all like,
we go back.
You're not going to know, and then you're like, what the hell is this guy?
Yeah, it's funny. My staff and I, we go go-karting, and I'm like, hey guys, let's go go-karting. So we show up, after we've planned it for a month, and two of my guys, those fuckers, have been practicing.
There you go.
And that's who won. They had gone like every night.
That's all it is, right?
During the week, just practicing.
That's all it is.
They're not going to win me next time for the record.
There you go. There you go.
Where do you go-karting out here?
Believe it or not, just like K1 place.
Oh,
yeah, that place.
There,
I
Octane
usually,
or whatever.
Me and this other guy that was like half my age, he and I were usually number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I'm pretty competitive.
I typically gloves off.
Yeah.
My guys will say I probably race a little dirty on the go karts, but it's all right.
It's like a fight, isn't it?
It's
you race, you fight to win.
Gloves off.
Those things are. I want like gas. Fuck the electric.
Yeah, I would. I've been in. So I've done like when it was Bondurant, but like Radford has some carts.
Oh, do they?
And that stuff. Those are shifters. Yeah, those things are fast. Believe it or not, we did have some go karts come out to the Podium Club, and those suckers were doing $120 on the straightaway.
Damn, 120.
Can you imagine those
120,
wheels?
Yeah, tiny. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, and what are they?
Wheels,
2 inches off the ground?
Tiny. No suspension. No harness. No seat belt.
Yeah, you're out. I mean,
yeah, it's just like riding a motorcycle.
now,
really.
over there though, you guys don't have any banked turns, do you? You're not banked up. You're fairly flat.
So it's called camber. Camber is like
okay.
when you are turning left and the road is in your favor, it'd be positive camber. All of our corners actually have positive camber. They all are in the benefit of the driver or rider, which makes it really fun. You feel like a superstar at our track. You can go really fast. Where it's flat or off camber, you kind of have to tiptoe through those things. We have positive camber on all of the turns.
Cool.
It's fun.
That's awesome.
Really fun.
Very cool.
So we'll make you feel like a superstar, Lyle, I promise.
That's what I wanted.
Oh, man, we got to get out.
Especially the fact that he's putting the gauntlet down. He's going to whoop me.
I don't know about
let's
that. I doubt it, but
do
hey,
it.
I'll die.
I just want to get the leather suit.
I'll
You
die
talk about
trying.
leather suit as a cowboy, man. I'm like, I want leather hide on. Like, I want to look like
He
a
wants the
heifer.
shiny, but he wants the shiny belt
Yeah, we'll have
buckle.
one made for you, and we'll put
Yeah.
a big buckle on
Big
the
old
front.
star. Put his
That's
little,
literally a thing. We could do that.
Oh, I'm
we
in.
can do
There you
that.
go.
I'm in.
well, this has been very informative, and again,
Yeah, thanks,
I'm
Ari.
so glad you were able to come on our show and learn a little bit more about what you do. And
Sure.
it's definitely something unique that we're not accustomed to. Being more of the V-twin guys, I want to learn more about the metric side and the sport bike side, and I think it's equally as fun and exciting, if not more so. So we'll definitely take you up on your offer, and
let's do
and
it.
again, best of luck. And if anyone wants to come check out the track, or what how do they get in touch with you guys if they want to learn how to either take the class or the track?
Sure. So podiumclub.com
Yeah.
is for our website. That's where you'll see all the information on track rental, memberships. Again, you want to be a member of the track, you just sign up. You get access today. And then break free track time. So our unique way of spelling the organization is BRAKE in the spirit of breaking, not break. But breakfreetracktime.com, and we'll have all of our courses online there. And with the tires, it's azracetireservices.com. Get you some Dunlop tires. They're the best. They're sticky. They last forever, and they're affordable. So get you some.
Nice. Sounds good. Well, thank you again. And
all right, guys.
see you the next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Hey there, before we get into this podcast, I want to tell you that this podcast is brought to you by the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. Hey, if you're ever injured in a motorcycle accident and need legal representation, the Law Tigers has got your back. We're the Law Tigers, and we are riders just like you. So, if you ever need us, call us at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.